don't let the students touch color until they know what they're doing with drawing. And that was Matisse. He said, you know, your young painter should not even touch color until they are thoroughly acquainted with all that's involved in drawing. Because that's your foundational point. Not to say it's got to be academic, it's just saying that you need to know that language before you start to add all this other stuff. And so for me, at the beginning, yeah, I used to really go in there and study and study and study and draw and draw, and I still have a tendency to want to do that, but I kind of know, there's a couple things, you know, I'm 64 now, so I don't have like, you know, 50 years in front of me probably. So, okay, we gotta be a little more succinct here. We gotta cut back maybe on something. What can I cut back on? What lesson do I know well enough that I can move past that or take a step around it somehow? But the preparation, you can never prepare enough. You know, I think of a guy like Seurat for Le Grand Jatte, that painting. I mean, there were hundreds of sketches and 2 practice paintings and a 3/4 size painting before he did that painting. You know, the Raft of Medusa, hundreds of sketches and drawings from life of every conceivable angle for that painting. You know, we don't work like that now. You know, you can ask yourself why. I mean, some of it I put down to culture and the way things are moving at this headlong pace, where it's like, we don't have time. We just got to move on to the next thing. And that's kind of unfortunate. That's okay, you can do it. Because I think art's not about that. Art really ought to be about being truly extravagant with time, where you're just willing to say, I don't care how long this thing takes, I'm just going to get it right. If it takes me a week and a half to do this little bit, and nobody cares but me and one other person, that's just fine. You know, there's a story that goes around about well, it doesn't go around anymore probably, a concert pianist that, you know, top of the game, right? Knew what he was doing, was wonderfully entertaining. And when he missed 1 day of practice, his wife knew it. When he missed 2, his students might know it. When he missed 3 or 4, maybe the audience might catch it, but only really good members of the audience. You know, as artists, you've got to be that rarefied air that says, when I'm not on my game, I'm not bringing the best of myself to this thing. So it's always a striving to make it better and better and better. So, you know, I mean, I get up at a lot of times 4:35 in the morning, and I'm ready to roll.
You work on more than one at a time?
Yep.
You go back and forth?
Yep. Sometimes up to, what, maybe 10, 11.